Hello everyone, this is the fourth and final part of my playthrough of Famicom Mukashibanashi, Yūyūki. It's a text-based adventure based on Journey to the West. If you want to start from the beginning or another part of the story, check out the video description for links to navigate to different chapters in the game. As usual, I'm going to transcribe the text showing hiragana characters in black, katakana in brown, and kanji in blue. Then I'll give you the phonetic reading, the word-by-word translation breakdown, and finally my interpretation in natural English. We've come a long way in our journey so far. We met Chao, or Neril as I've called her, in her village where she helped rescue Sengoku, or Son Wukong, from his meteorite prison. Then we met Sanzo the monk, who was searching for the Buddhist sutras, crossed the Great Desert and met Hakai in his restaurant, and finally up the mountain to the village of women where Gojo was looking after the bathhouse. From there, we got the Hammer of Light and found Neril's trail. We boarded a ship bound for Tenjiku and met Kogaiji, the son of the Ox King, and in the ensuing fight blew up the ship and scattered the team. Sengoku and Goju found themselves in Siberia and made their way out of the ice and snow on the legendary Flying Nimbus. They met the rest of the team in Hawaii, and after a scuffle with Princess Ironfan, have finally made it to this point in their journey. Sanzo's just sitting back and relaxing. This is nice and easy as he's sitting in the boat. His very first line sets his voice for the whole game. No is an old-fashioned exclamatory particle, an elderly sigh, roughly, isn't it? And ja is an archaic copula, standing for da or des, sort of meaning is, the classic speech pattern of an aged sage or nobleman in fiction. Listen for ja at the end of nearly every Sanzo line from here on. And the team's banter just continues. How was it? All of a sudden, though, wait a minute, are we not going the right way anymore? What's happening? Sengoku's not in control. The Hammer of Light seems to be doing something on its own. Here's a point of vocab. Getani is a handy adverb meaning on its own or without permission, arbitrarily. It's useful for describing something acting independently of your control, and here with the runaway mallet. Sengoku is not making this happen, the mallet's doing it by itself. Yeah, it seems like Gojo is proud that there's an island here, but wonders if maybe this is where Neril is. We're still looking for her. So, Sengoku's let's investigate. Sanzo says, be careful. And then we want to know, is he coming? So it sounds like our intrepid Sanzo is tired and he's just going to have a nap. A neat side-by-side of I. Sanzo says washa, contracted washiwa, the old man pronoun of washi, while Gojo answers with ochi, the rustic folksy first-person pronoun tied to rural dialects. Later, Sengoku uses ore, 3 registers of I from 3 character types. So, with both Sanzo and Gojo staying behind, Sengoku has decided to go it alone. He's discovered the island is surrounded by a purple cloud. So as he tries to enter it, he realizes this cloud is not just a normal cloud. It's a physical barrier. Ouch! Riding into it hurts. Maybe he didn't do it fast enough. He's got to fly with a little bit more force. So let's try it again. Once again, trying to enter the island. Still no luck. Ouch, again. The Kinton, or the Flying Nimbus, is struggling here. Let's try it one more time. Absolutely full throttle. And in we go. And the Flying Nimbus seems to be no longer underneath Sengoku. His staff flying. Oh no, the Flying Nimbus is breaking up. It was not able to handle it. Sengoku head first, down he goes. Ah! Nobiro Nyoibo. The Nyoibo is the extending staff. In the original Chinese, it was the Ruyibang, the wish-fulfilling staff. It's very much a trope that Sun Wukong, or the Monkey King, will have that in pretty much any version of Journey to the West. Monkey Ball is a great example where Goku himself is always using his magic extending staff. Sengoku has managed to use his staff to catch onto a window ledge suspended high above the skyscrapers. He's trying to kick and flail, see what he can do, but let's see if he can make it to the building window. His hand just can't reach it. He's too far. Nope, still can't do it. He's stuck. Just let's go then. And down he goes, staff hitting him in the head. And he's found himself on a street with a bunch of weirdly leaning buildings in the distance. Oh. What the? So let's take a look at this town. Yes, the buildings do seem deformed. Uh-oh. Someone's coming. Ooh, lots of people. In front of a building with a large cow face. Is that suspicious? It might be. But let's take a look at what's going on inside the building. Found ourselves in a nice comfy little office. Maybe the Ox King's office itself? See what's in the freezer here. Ooh, food. Sengoku will always eat anything in front of him when the opportunity presents it. But that seemed to help fill him up a bit. Alright, see what the desk has going on. A drawer? What do we tend to do with a drawer? Let's open it. Hekaru. Oh, now I need a combination. I will freely admit I kind of cheated on this combination. I'm not sure where the clue was I was supposed to use to get it. I'm sure I was supposed to look it up, find it somewhere, taped to something, but there we go, it's open. Alright, the anticipation is building. And we have a notebook. Prison roster. So kakareta iru, passive of kaku, which is written, is a standard way to describe text or signage. Horyo means prisoner of war or cap. It's a heavier, more formal word than toriko, fitting for a villain's ledger. Number 16 is Nirl. Okay. So, turns out she was here. The Ox King has taken her. So nice when finding a random island for no apparent reason works out. So let's take a look at the floor. Oop, all that milk that Sengoku spilled is flowing somewhere. Hidden drain, maybe? Oop, one of those floorboards is loose. That can only mean one thing. Somebody hasn't been paying their flooring maintenance bill. Accidentally discovering that for a second time. Alright, let's pull up that floorboard. Oh, look at this, a big hole with some stairs going down. Should probably just ignore that, I guess. Can't possibly be useful. But, just in case, let's check out the chica, or the basement. And straight into a guard. How convenient. And we extend the magic staff. And kerpow! Konyaro is a rough contraction of Tonoyaro. You punk, or you bastard, a fight-picking insult. Maita is the classic, I give up, you got me, line used both in real fights and jokingly amongst friends. Just to get the point across, Sengoku gives him another kick. Oh, ow, ow. Alright, where is Nero? He's given up. He's back, locked in the cell. Alright, deeper into the prison we go. And it turns out the soldier's laughing a little bit, so clearly was feigning his defeat. Ooh, slam! Down comes the metal barrier. Apparently this is a one-way journey. But nowhere to go but forward. Oh, another one. So apparently we're just gonna get pushed further and further in. And a third metal wall comes down. Alright, let's just call it. Nero, where are you? Do something. Alright, let's switch over to Nero and see what's up. Staying here for a while. So she's being thrown into the cell. Not happy about it. Nope. And we have a little kid with sunglasses inside the jail cell. Sukaro answers in broken katakana transliterated English. My name is Uromu from... It's a running gag mocking stilted foreign-sounding English delivery, a common comedic device in Japanese media where supposedly cool or foreign characters speak in katakana English instead of natural Japanese. Kintaro himself is a genuine Japanese folk hero, not a Journey to the West character. Legend has him raised alone in the mountains by Yamauha, mountain witch, superhumanly strong even as a small child and famous for wrestling bears and befriending wild animals as playmates. He's traditionally placed on Mount Ashigara, exactly the Ashigara mountain that he named his home here. And the grown-up Kintaro is said to become Sekata no Kinpuki, her retainer of the samurai Minamoto no Yorimitsu. His image, a chubby red-skinned boy riding a bear and carrying a hatchet, is a fixture in Puromo no Hi, Children's Day, where May 5th, decorations symbolizing the wish for boys to grow up strong and healthy. Unlike Kintaro, Danbei is not pulled from centuries-old folklore. He's a protagonist of an earlier Nintendo game, Shin Onagashima, New Demon Island. In 1987 Famicom Disk System adventure written by Shigesato Itoi, who also did Mother and Earthbound. That game is also part of the same series as Yūyūki. That game is in itself a mashup of two classic Japanese folktales. Danbei is found as a baby floating down a river inside a rice bowl, a direct riff on Momotaro, the peach boy, who famously arrives inside a giant peach, while his companion Hikari is discovered glowing inside a bamboo stalk straight out of the tail of the bamboo cutter, Kaguya Hime. Both are raised by a childless old man and old woman, the same elderly couple archetype that bookends this game's own story. His cameo here is less a folklore reference in its own right and more of a wink at players who would recognize the beloved earlier Nintendo character. The video game equivalent of Kintaro's folklore cameo, just one generation more recent. Tengu is another genuine centuries-old Japanese folklore character, one of the best-known yokai. Traditionally, mountain-dwelling spirit dressed in the garb of Yambushi, or mountain acidic mud. Older depictions give Tengu a crow-like beak. Now, the iconic long red nose is a later Edo period development. They are strongly linked with martial prowess and legend. Several famous swordsmen are said to have secretly trained under Tengu in the mountains, and can be either mischievous troublemakers or fierce guardians of sacred peaks, depending on the tale. The stray O, tacked onto the start and end of every one of his lines, here is a fictional flourish, but it does the job folklore tropes usually do, instantly marking him as an inhuman, tied to the wild mountains rather than the human world. Yo at the end here is a classic feminine-leaning, assertive particle adding confidence to a statement. Compare it with Zo, used by male characters, same emphasis function, different gendered register. Nero is confident Sengoku will come. Now she can hear something. Sengoku's calling. Sengoku, she replies back. Tengu doesn't seem to be able to hear anything. Sengoku again! She's gonna bang on the wall, bang on the bars, make a lot of noise. Whatever she can do to get some attention. Oh, now we're back. Sengoku's in the hallway. Still out in the hallway, still trying to decide where to go. Metal doors coming down behind him. Wait, what's that? Bang, bang. Where is that coming from? He strains his ears, trying to hear. Back to Chow. Oh, we have the reunion. Sengoku on one side of the bars, Chow on the other. Sengoku unlocks the jail. Daryl! Not sure how he unlocked the jail, but okay. Mo daijoubu da. It's alright now, or you're safe now. It's one of the most useful reassurance phrases in Japanese. Worth memorizing exactly as it is for real conversations. It's not just game dialogue. There seems to be a lot of excitement about the Hammer of Light, so Sengoku pulls it out and shows it to everybody. Bengo uses the word sukuwaru. This is a passive form of suku, to save, so it will be saved. Passive forms often describe something happening to the subject from an outside force. Exactly the structure here. The 20,000 people are saved by someone else's action. And suddenly, Hakai appears. He had been shape-shifting into Sengoku, trying to pull the wool over everybody's eyes. He coats everybody with the most foul-smelling breath ever. Neril is appalled. Danbei can't breathe. Kintaro, oh my god! And everybody's down for the count. Hakai throws a little turn of phrase at us here. Nakanagai mono ni makarete ikuru. Wrap yourself around what is long. It's a Japanese proverb meaning, go along with whoever's in power, resistance is pointless. Hakai's nya ending throughout is his Kansai dialect version of nda, the explanatory sentence ending. So, it is. Alright. It seems like Sengoku has shown up for real now, finding all of these out-cold people, or characters, I guess, that Neril had been hanging out with. He starts to interrogate them a little bit. Tengu says there was a pig. Danbei says there's an elevator. So Sengoku takes those clues and heads on towards elevator, and here it is. Suspicious object lying on the floor. The yuka. And what is that? It is the Hammer of Light. So, as you recall, Hakai was able to produce the Hammer of Light despite not having it, so he must have had some kind of facsimile and he decided he didn't need it anymore, so down it went. Take it, see if I can use that down the road. And now that there seems to be nothing else here, let's get in the elevator. And up, up, up we go. Here we are on the roof. Hakai is there, holding Neril near his escape vehicle. Hakai, what are you doing? Give her back! We get two more markers here of Hakai's Kansai dialect. Jikashi is a Kansai slang for yakamashi, shut up, or noisy. And kaina is a Kansai question tag roughly similar to kana or kai. Sengoku starts the incantation to extend his magic staff, but realizes at the last second that Neril could be hit. So instead, he realizes he needs to attack Hakai head-on. just as he starts to charge. Wait! Omachi! Princess Ironfan, or more directly translated as Demon Woman, has appeared. Sounds like she wants to give me one chance to redeem myself. Am I beautiful? The question that leads you to, if you say yes, you can be her servant. If you say no, you get exiled to hell. But Sengoku, of course, scorned her hard, sends her into a rage, and a fierce battle begins. Sengoku attacking with his staff, Princess Ironfan dodging and kicking and punching. No sign of a clear advantage on either side. As they exchange blows, Sengoku, with his just powerful strength and sheer determination, slowly begins to get an edge. Princess Ironfan is about to lose, and suddenly Hakai intervenes. Wait! Hakai offers an ultimatum. Abaratara is the Tara conditional of Obararu to rampage, if you rampage any further. Tara is the most flexible of the Japanese conditionals, equally at home with hypotheticals, warnings, and sequential events. When X happens, then Y. Princess Ironfan uses Watashi Naisai as a command form softer than the plain imperative, but still firm. It's typically used by someone with authority over the listener, like a parent to a child, or a captor to a captive. It's built from the plate Mas, Stem, plus Nasai. So, hand it over. Thinking very quickly on his feet, Sengoku realizes he still has the fake Hammer of Light, so he pulls it out and offers it forward. It's snatched out of his hand, and he demands that arrow be returned to him immediately. Totomoni means together with. It's a slightly more formal literary alternative to Toishini, which is common in narration. Sengoku just has no choice but to watch Princess Ironfan and Hakai fly away with Cho, or Nerl. Nothing else he can do. Princess Ironfan is not finished, though. She pulls out her Basho fan and starts to wave it in that sideways motion, which we know is bad news. Meanwhile, Sanzo and Gojo, back on the boat, are noticing that it's starting to rain. Tamanari means thunder or lightning, and Dabe is Gojo's dialectic tag again. A good moment to notice how consistently this one marker recurs across totally different sentences in that rustic dialect that Gojo likes to use. Well, they've recognized they're in trouble. They need to get out and head to land. Gojo points out that they're pretty much surrounded by ocean and doesn't really know where to go. But we see that faint light on the horizon. I think that's the harbor. Sanzo figures we should go there pretty quickly. As the French would say, on y va! So heading to the harbor, let's go! Now that we've found our way to the dock, thunder and lightning still crashing around us. The warehouse next door looks like a convenient shelter. In we go. Gojo wonders how Sengoku's doing. Sanzo gives us another one of those idioms, Uteru Himawanai. It comes from the Edo period oil peddlers who would chat leisurely with customers while their thick oil slowly poured, effectively stalling on purpose. So, selling oil has become an idiom for wasting time. Sanzo uses the verb kakurameshita, past tense for hide, so hid. Hikureru means to hide oneself. It has a transitive partner, keksu, meaning to hide something else. So it's just another one of those useful verbs that has a couple different ways of saying it that you can keep an ear out for. This actually marks the end of Chapter 8. Shinbo means patience or endurance. We must now flip the disk to side A to continue the story and are waiting for the software to load. Now we're at the beginning of Chapter 9. In the warehouse, hiding behind some crates. So let's start by looking at these soldiers, see what we can learn. They are cows. Okay, that's helpful, I suppose. So let's listen. They're talking about something. Maybe we need to listen a little closer. The soldier uses the verb kairo, which is the casual clipped form of the volitional kaioru, let's go home. Dropping the final u is extremely common in relaxed spoken Japanese, especially among men. Now the time, Sanzo's stomach starts growling so loudly that the soldiers hear it. Who's there? We have some positing that maybe it's the escaped prisoner they've been hearing about. Korosareru is the passive form of korosu, to kill, so will be killed. The passive in Japanese often marks something unpleasant happening to the subject. Exactly the soldier's fear here. Looks like Sanjo and Gojo are in some trouble here. Gotta think quickly. The guards are searching. Gojo's going to use his skill and try to read their mind. First soldier seems to be very afraid of the Ox King. What if he says, "You useless fool"? That would be pretty devastating. I can't even imagine. Listen. Gojo's gonna take the advantage here and try it out. Hey! Hey, who's there? It's the Ox King! As Gojo attempts to intimidate the soldiers, he uses the verb shitoru, which is a contraction of shiteiru. The toru ending makes it a progressive form that shows up across several regional dialects, including Kansei, Kyushu, and here, functioning just like teru, with a different regional flavor. Gojo uses another interesting grammar note here. Kazoeru is the plain imperative of the ichidan verb kazoreru, count. Ichidan verbs form commands by dropping the ru and adding a rho, compared to godan verbs like hanasu, which shifts the final vowel to e. Hanasu becomes hanase. Anyway, it did seem to work. The soldiers have run away outside the warehouse, out onto the dock, into the raging storm. Boom! Lightning suddenly strikes and hits them both. They are down for the count, with a big scream. Sanzo expresses his remorse with the invocation of Nemo Amida Butsu. This is a real Buddhist invocation. I take refuge in Amida Buddha. It's chanted in Pure Land Buddhism and used in fiction whenever a monk-type character reacts to death or tragedy sincerely or for comic effect. Back on the rooftop, Sengoku's out in the storm with Kintaro. Kintaro is still curious about this Hammer of Light, and Sengoku is confirming that he has it. Kintaro's very excited. With the Hammer of Light, we can save the world and return it to its original state. We have to hurry up. We need to go to India. Or Tenjiku. Sengoku's not ready, though. Not everybody's here. There is that mysterious power hidden in the Hammer of Light. Still don't know how to use it or really what it does. But it does give you that nice calm feeling when you gaze at it. Very gentle, very warm. Suddenly, Gojo and Sanzo appear. Hey, Sengoku! We almost died! Sanzo is always very, very calm and serene. Are we done here? Let's go! This place sucks. But, of course, Sengoku now has to face the fact the Flying Nimbus is gone. My cool transportation is no more. We're screwed. Now Sanzo has his own ideas what to say. Here Sanzo refers to Kintaro with Onushi, which is thou or you. It's an archaic second-person pronoun that pairs naturally with Sanzo's ja speech. Common in samurai or wise and elder dialogue, and distinct from the modern anata or the blunt omae. Now we're just getting a little bit of Ox King backstory. Apparently he's been collecting objects from all over the world, including the sacred scriptures. Sengoku seems to think that that's where the Ox King got his power. Gojo uses the word tondemane, which is the same thing as tondemanai, which means outrageous or unthinkable. It's got that rough nai to ne shift common in casual masculine speech. Sanzo gives it a more religious spin though with bachiatari, literally meaning one who deserves divine punishment. It's a great word for someone acting sacrilegiously. This line has an interesting use of the wa particle. It's actually not marking a topic here, now attached to a quantity. Ichinen wa, as much as a year. It implies at least this much, maybe more, emphasizing the scale of the number rather than just simply marking a particle. It seems like the motorcycle talks now. It's using the term go shinpai wa muyo desu, which is a formal, almost old-fashioned way to say there's no need to worry. Muyo literally means without use or unnecessary. You'd more commonly hear this simpler shinpai shinaida in casual speak. It sounds like Ryukichi has been having quite the adventure of his own. Kaware mashita is the passive form of cow, to buy, in polite te form, having been bought. He then, in the next line, says wasura rara nekute, which combines the potential passive of wasuraru with the negative nai, not being able to forget, a common way to express an emotion that resists letting go. Kintaro seems like he's content to let us take things from here and save the world. Sengoku's on board. Understood. I got it. So it's time to bid Kintaro farewell, board Ryukichi the bike, and head on our way. Woohoo! So fast! Gojo's pretty happy too. Sanzo, as usual, seems pretty impressed. Or maybe a little queasy. On our way to India. We're almost there. Alright, set us down near the castle. We're gonna be there already? Uh-oh. Well, yeah, but we need to prepare mentally. What are you talking about? We've come this far. Let's just get it done. Shikanai means there's no choice but to. Literally, there's nothing except. Combined with a casual na and Gojo's bat tag, it reads as though, we got no choice but fight, don't you know? This is a common theme from the Journey of the West. This whole sequence, a mountain wreathed in flame, only doused by a magical fan, wielded by Princess Iron Fan, is directly from the original novel, where Sun Wukong must borrow the banana leaf fan from Princess Iron Fan to cross the real Flaming Mountains. The sight of the Flaming Mountains has everybody excited and intimidated. Let's go. Let's get closer. Closer and closer. Wow, that wall of flames is getting brighter. Ah, if it keeps going, I'm going to explode. Another little note on grammar. Shimao, after a verb, adds the nuance of completion, often with a sense of regret or uh-oh. But Ryukichi isn't just saying, I'll explode. He's saying, I'm going to end up exploding. And that would be bad. Now that we know that it's in that mountain, how do we get there? This heat is just not going to let you get close. Gojo's plate is drying up on his head. I didn't know it was wet, but I guess he doesn't like it that way. With this kind of heat, Ryukichi could use a fan, I suppose. I can see that. Sanzo's got something. Ooh, Sengoku's had an idea. Augaba is the ba conditional of augu, which is to fan. So if we fan with that, the ba form is one of several ways to say if, typically used for general or hypothetical conditions. Alright, so we figured out getting access to the fan would be helpful, but since the fan's inside the castle, what do? I guess we lure her out. Makes sense. So we need a strategy. And we have this handy strategize option. So let's see what we can come up with. I know. Let's shout at the mountain. X ni yowai. Weak to X. It's a handy pattern for susceptibility. Weak to flattery. Otata ni yowai. Weak to alcohol. Osake ni yowai. Weak to cold. Samosa ni yowai. The opposite, X ni tsuyoi, works the same way for strengths and tolerances. Alright, we've got a plan. Lure out flattery. We're gonna swipe the fan. So let's start it. Oh, Princess Iron Fan, so pretty eyes. Please come out. See what Gojo has to say. Let's get him giving another shout here. Gojo throws a few things out there. At Masao literally means deep blue, but idiomatically describes something so impressive it would make even the best, here being models, turn pale with envy. Put X to shame. Then we have Shistairu, which is the katakana loanword from English style, used here for physique or figure. Doesn't feel like that's quite done it. We're just hearing sparks crackling, no movement coming from the castle. Might need to redouble or throw a little more energy at this, so let's try again. See who else we can get going on here. Maybe Sengoku himself can add more fuel to the fire. Hey, world's most beautiful princess! Please come out! And back to Sanzo. Oops, didn't mean to go in here. Hitai does not have much to tell me just now, so let's try this again. There's a voice coming. Sounds like Princess Iron Fan has heard us. She's coming. Oh, who is this? Who's called me? And Sengoku's just like, Yep. Yokomo is an accusatory pattern, roughly meaning, how dare you? Yokomo implies disbelief that someone had the nerve to do something, almost always followed by an angry consequence, exactly as here. I won't fail to destroy you this time. Kokoro o irekamashita literally means to swap out one's heart. Idiomatically means to turn over a new leaf or have a change of heart. Sanzo is claiming a moral transformation to trick Princess Iron Fan. Princess Iron Fan is intrigued. Could it really be? Now! Yeah! Ryokichi flies into Princess Iron Fan's face. Ah! She wasn't expecting that. That hurt. Now Sanzo's getting in on it and has grabbed her arm. What are you doing? Alright, Gojo. Go! He's on his other arm. Yeah! Oh no, stop it! Alright, Sengoku's turn. Yoink! I'll take this. And the fan has been snatched. Princess Iron Fan is appalled. What's happening? Now you don't have that scary thing. Magic staff. Hi-ya! Uh-huh. What? An invisible force will not let him swing the staff. That was not part of the plan. What if we try them out? Ah! He raises the hammer of light to the sky. And it starts doing something on its own. Yee! What are you doing to me? And suddenly, we have a very different looking young lady. Oh, Sans-Sou's, ooh, the old lech. I can't believe you're such a beautiful young lady. My real name is Katyusha. The true form hidden beneath the cursed monstrous disguise is revealed to be Katyusha, the lost wife of Cloudman from the Siberia stage. The name Katyusha is Russian, but the Japanese have an unusual connotation associated with it. There was a Tolstoy play performed in Japan in the early 1900s that featured a character named Katyusha, and one of the songs she sang became a major hit throughout the country. While singing it, she wore a distinctive headband, and since then, the word Katyusha is used in the country to mean headband. Here Sanjo is trying to take on a reassuring tone. Desso mixes the polite couplet des with the blunt masculine zo, an odd combination of older male character trying to sound both dignified and reassuring. Ojo-san, young lady or miss, is a polite, slightly old-fashioned way to address a young woman. Katyusha seems excited to get reunited with her long-lost love, Cloudman, so off she sails into the sky. But that taken care of. Seems like we have the fan. Ox King is down a defender. So let's see what the magic fan can do. So now we have to decide which one of these three waves will work. One makes rain, one makes fire, and I think one just makes a crazy blast of wind. So looks like we chose correctly. We've got some rain coming down, putting out the big flames. So we're maybe able to now approach the mountain. We see the fortress. Let's move in. Shiro Castle. Ryokichi seems like he's willing to fly us the rest of the way now that he won't burn up and explode. Everybody climbs on, and away we go. Now that they've debarked, Ryokichi seems willing to come back and help if needed, but doesn't feel, I guess, that he has much to do in the castle itself. Alright, everybody, psych yourselves up for a final battle as we enter the castle. And now we're just waiting for the software to load as we do another chapter switch. Inside the castle, chapter 10 begins. After all this time, we finally got here. Alright, let's get going. We're gonna finish it. And Sanzo doesn't want to be left behind. Running after them all. And now we've made it to a room with 3 doors, but there's nobody here. Sanzo's wondering if they already won. Ine is Inai with the same casual nai-ne shift we saw with Tondemo-ne. Combined with Gojo's Dayo, a good example of how dialect and general casual masculine speech patterns can stack together. Naro is the volitional form of naru, to become. So let's become. And then so he's saying let's split up. The volitional yo, or o, is the plain speech equivalent of masho, used for suggestions among friends. Of course, Sanzo is not a huge fan of the splitting up option, but Sengoku is reassuring them that everything will be fine. Sengoku is worried it's a little quiet though, and Sanzo, of course, has his bad feeling. Could there be a trap? And then Gojo brings us back to Nerl. Wonder if she's safe. Toji Komaru te Iru stacks the passive of Toji Komaru, which is to combine or lock up, with te Iru, describing an ongoing state resulting from that action. So, in the state of having been locked up. Gojo had previously used the term buji, which basically means safe. It's one of the most common words for checking on someone's well-being. Tekura is the blunt masculine request form of tekuraru, do this for me. Tekuraru always implies the action benefits the speaker, distinguishing it from teagaru, benefits someone else, and temorao, speaker receives the favor framed from their side. Sanzo affirms his decision. Kimaru, to decide, which is a transitive verb, and kimaru, to be decided, in transitive form, are classic transitive-intransitive pair. Sanzo actually decides here. Kimeta. A few lines later, Sengoku observes the choice he's made with kimetana. Now that Sanzo's made his decision, it's Gojo's turn. He's going to take the middle door, and that means Sengoku has only the left door left. Now, all we have to do is open the doors and see where we end up.
Okay.
Sengoku first. We find ourselves in a very long staircase.
Okay.
Only one way to find out how far down it is. Let's take the hike. Now, at the bottom, I find myself in what appears to be an empty room. Dead end. Cul-de-sac. So, let's find out what Sanzo's got himself into. Another deep, dark staircase. I guess let's go down and see. We're also finding ourselves in a empty, blank basement room. Feel like there's a trend happening here, but let's see what Gojo's got going on. Surprise, surprise, it's a third staircase. And, ooh, not a blank room. We find ourselves just hovering over the lava pit. This kind of reminds me of Dragon's Lair just a little bit. The opening scene. Now we have the option to go to Nerl. Oh, and we're just sitting here in this living room with the Ox King and Hakai, apparently watching Sengoku on a screen. The Ox King chuckles. And then Hakai jumps in. Aho is the Kansai region equivalent of baka, fool or idiot. Both mean roughly the same thing, but which one a speaker reaches for is a strong regional tell. Hakai will always use aho, never baka. This prompts Nerl to plead for Hakai to show some mercy to those that are supposedly its friends. Y is a rougher old-fashioned first-person pronoun tied to Kansai speech, another I to add alongside washi, boku, hora, and ore. And then seipai means with all one's might, or to the best of one's ability. Dooshitemo, no matter what or by any means, paired with the potential negative verb nikumenai, cannot bring myself to hate, is a strong way to express an emotion that resists logic. No matter what, I just can't hate him. The Ox King seems amused by the exchange, and Nerl wants to know what his intentions are. The The Ox King offers to explain through demonstration. Futagi na emi, a fearless, audacious smile, and emio ukabaru, to wear a smile, or literally float a smile, are both literary narration register phrases, more book Japanese than something you would really say out loud. That button seems to be opening trapdoors. Down goes Sengoku. Down goes Sanzo. And down goes Gojo. Ah! What could be happening now? Here we have Gojo in front of our friends Kinkaku and Ginkaku. Kinkaku and Ginkaku, or Golden Horn and Silverhorn, are genuine antagonists from the original Journey to the West novel. Sengoku gave them a cute nickname Kingen in our last encounter in the previous fortress. They're treacherous demon brothers who guard a magic gourd that sucks in anyone whose name is called out to it. In this game, they like to host a trivia game to see who can make it past and for who should be captured. We're here for round 2. Okay, let's play. First question. Well, we met that fox in Siberia. So, boom, we know it. Burgundy wine, and there goes Gojo, glug glug glug. We're not gonna savor that. Delicious. Second question. Princess Iron Fan. Her weapon. Yes, bing bing bing, dry beer. 1 year supply. And Gojo's gonna take that 1 year beer and just down it. So delicious. Alright, doing well. Gojo's looking a little wrecked though, but we'll see how it is. They're a little bit like, what happened? Okay, well, okay. Question 3, let's do it. The previous answer in kanji. Well, I don't even get to try. So they're just like, nope, can't do it. Ah! Gojo's like, what? No one can answer that question. If you know, you have to do it. And here the trickery begins. Oh my goodness, you're so uneducated. Brother, say it. I don't know. Oh, and failing to know the answer, he is sucked into his own gourd. Ah! Oh no. Brother, where'd you go? Ginkaku, come on, answer me. Come on, come on. And the gourd's magic works again. They responded to being answering to their own name in the presence of the gourd. So they have been defeated. Zamamire is a slurred, drunken version of Zamamiro. Serves you right. Gojo's had a lot of quiz prize wine by this point. Tatetsuku means to defy or oppose someone's authority. The Ox King doesn't want to play fair, even though Gojo wins. He does something else. And Gojo's journey apparently comes to an end. We don't know what actually happened. Now we've got Sanzo falling into his room. It's just a big room. You have to look around. You see a pot in the corner. I thought it was a person with a very flat head at first, but nope. Ofuda are real paper talismans used in Japanese Buddhist and Shinto practice to seal away or ward off evil spirits. A staple prop in anime and games whenever sealed evil comes up. Chubo, which is a jar, pot, or an urn, is the classic container for sealed spirits in folklore. Only an idiot would read this pig's butt. Well, that's fun. Sanzo's a little confused. but let's just peel it off and see what happens. There might be some sake inside. Uh-oh. I feel like we've got some evil spirits floating around now. They're clinging to Sanzo. They're angry. Ah, Sanzo's totally freaked out. I guess I would be too. Ox King, we will kill you! And they seem very single-minded about this. They're apparently really mad at the Ox King. And Sanzo being there means he's the Ox King in front of their opinion. Sanzo, of course, tries to explain. You've got the wrong person. I'm not the Ox King. No! The evil spirits, we will kill you! They are not listening. They start strangling Sanzo, wrapping around his neck. Sanzo tries one more desperate plea. Shugi means ism, and Shugisha means a believer or adherent of that ism. Heiwa Shugisha means a pacifist. The same pattern builds Shihon Shugi, capitalism, Minshu Shugi, democracy, and Rakan Shushiga, which is an optimist. Now the evil spirits start spouting off little weird phrases that seem like the talisman tag. I think they're trying to confuse Sanzo by getting him wrapped up and not really able to remember which order the words go in, as that is the incantation that would seal them. But Sanzo managed, and the evil spirits are once again confined into the tsubo or pot under the talisman. With this great victory, Sanzo can relax and enjoy that time. The Ox King, however, disagrees. No rest for you, Sanzo. No here turns the verb yasumu, to rest, into a noun phrase, resting. Yasumu no wa, as for resting. This no nominalization is how you can turn any verb into a topic, subject, or object. Now we're back to following Sengoku. He seems to have fallen into a very dark room. Pitch black. Can't see anything at all. And now the lights are on. Long time no see. It's our friend Kogaiji. I guess he made it off the ship when we sank it too. How wonderful. Alright, so let's see what we can do here. Seems like he's grown some. Might not be quite as easy to beat him up as it was last time. So maybe we should try it. Kogaiji is not in the mood to be helpful, it seems like. Not that he ever is. Then the battle begins. Punch, kick, bite, scratch. Seems like he's losing the battle, though. Kogaiji just still can't quite keep up with our buddy Sengoku. And he's down. Completely exhausted. No more will to fight. You're ready to give up already? As if I'd ever surrender! Help! And he's down. Now, of course, his dad, being the Ox King, might respond poorly to this. He did in the past. So, boom, and the wall is smashed open, and the Ox King is here. Angry. Finally, we're face to face. It's been a while, Kisama is an archaic and aggressive U, almost exclusively used by villains in fights nowadays, never used in polite company. Narisagata means to fall or be reduced to a lower status. It carries real contempt. Umara Kawataru literally means to be born again or reborn. This is the Monkey King's redemption arc, a once destructive figure who chooses good, following Buddha's request that he protect the monk on his journey. The Ox King isn't mincing words. He's gonna marry Nerl. Bozu is a casual and slightly rude word for Buddhist monk, which is Sanzo. And Kappa is the famous water-dwelling yokai, or as manifested in this game, Gojo. In the original novel, Shaojing, Gojo's counterpart, is a river-dwelling ogre, and Japanese adaptations conventionally reimagine him as a Kappa. Now we get to hang out with Sanzo and Gojo, seeing what's going on with them since their fall. Not good. Uset is an extremely clipped, rude contraction of urusai, shut up, or annoying. Kuso, as a prefix, so in this case, kuso bozu, damn monk, intensifies an insult, similar to how in English we tack damn or some kind of thing like that in rough speech, but it's not appropriate in polite contexts. Well, now that we know that Gojo and Sanzo are kind of doing their thing, let's get back to Sengoku and his interaction with the Ox King. Is that your plan? You're gonna attack me with your little staff? Oh, how adorable. Slick. And the staff is gone. Now what? Oh, I still have the magic pen. I'm gonna burn you to pieces, or rain on you, or blow you in the wind, whatever thing that happens. Ha 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 ha. As if. And the fan is torn into shreds. Well, that didn't work, did it? Okay. Let's, oh yeah, the Hammer of Light, I forgot about that. Ooh, it's glowing! Ah, stop! Okay, the Ox King doesn't like this. Seems like we found the winner chicken dinner. Bonsenga e okuita, the monk farted, isn't nonsense the writers made up. It's the actual counting chant used in regional variants of Darumas Hanga Koronda, which is the Japanese version of Red Light, Green Light, recited by the It player while everyone's back is turned. Hearing the villain chant, a children's playground rhyme mid-battle, is a bit of a joke, but it was also introduced to us when we first met Sanzo. It's the incantation he uses to control Sengoku's golden crown to tighten it when Sengoku starts to act up and needs to be brought back into line. The Ox King is using it now to turn the tide of battle into his favor. Things just aren't looking so good here. Sengoku's now been made helpless. The Hammer of Light seems to have stopped being activated now that Sengoku isn't able to handle it anymore. Ox King won't kill you, he's going to take his time. We're going to torture, which is convenient because maybe that gives us time to have something else happen that might save the day. Sengoku continues to struggle, helplessly though, as the Ox King continues to tighten the crown just a little bit further, and Sengoku's in agony. Well, let's see what Neryl's up to. Watching this whole thing unfold on screen. Hikai's still there watching her. Sengoku will be killed! Taita is the te form of taiku, to untie or undo. It's used here as a request. Please untie this. And we're going to untie the nawa, which is rope. It's a good word for gamers to remember since it's a pretty common adventure item. Hikai's resolve seems to be wavering. Neryl might just be getting through to him. That and watching Sengoku struggle on screen. Neryl's tearful looks. Sengoku's agonizing struggle. What's a pig to do? Please, Sengoku will be killed. We've already covered that. Please untie the rope. This Nawa is just not what I need right now. And there we go. Hikai is going to take the rope. Oh, should I really do this? If I do, the Ox King won't like me anymore. But he's been overcome. Neryl's pleas have outweighed the Ox King's rage. Alright, we can't just sit around. We have to hurry. Let's go. And here we are in the basement. Sengoku! Ah! Naniwa is the old classical name for Osaka, still used today for local flavor and pride, sort of like calling New York City Gotham. Do is a prefix and intensifies the word. Dokanjo, serious, guts, grit. Sort of kind of like do manaka would mean change center into dead center, common in rough and energetic speech. Anyhow, the Ox King is going to let Sengoku go and do battle with Hakai instead. Ox King is complimentary that Hakai fights well, but meanwhile Sengoku is lying on the ground, a little bit helpless. The crown there. Switch over to Neryl and see if she can help. She's gonna come running to Sengoku while the battle rages off screen. We finally found each other. We really have. Even though back on the boat, Neryl was pretty mad at Sengoku for raging around and causing a ruckus. And just now, Buddha talks to Sengoku. Hopefully words of encouragement and maybe even advice. Tell Neryl about your true feelings. I guess now's as good a time as any. How do we feel about Neryl? This isn't one of those ones where we have to guess the word that they're looking for. Yuki. I like Neryl. And then Neryl, oh my. Sengoku, so emotional. I had no idea. And the crown pops off. Apparently, being emotionally vulnerable was all it took. And now, freed from that burden, Sengoku's ready to rejoin the fray. Looks like Hakai is down for the count. The Ox King isn't gonna have to face me now. Die, Sengoku! Ah! That looked like it might have hurt. Knocked me right out of the frame. As if I'd lose. And now we have an actual action sequence, rare in this game. I have to dodge these clouds of smoke and launch myself into Ox King's face. And I have to do it however many times. Oop, he got me. But I'm gonna have to get him. Boom! There's 3 hit. How much more can he take? 4 hit. And 5 hit. My goodness. 6. Man, am I even making headway here? It feels like I am. 7? Well, 7 is doing something Apparently the Ox King is just not ready. Let's try the mallet again. Hammer of light while he's in his most vulnerable state. Castle shaking.
blinding light, and darkness. Oop. And now we have a cow standing in the hole in the wall. Boo. We won! You did it! Yay! So apparently the Hammer of Light was able to calm the Ox King and return him to his natural state as a cow. Perhaps a cow that had at one point had evil ambitions. But he's run off now. Powerless. Oh yeah, I guess the monk and Gojo, they were sort of hanging over some boiling cauldrons. Maybe we should fix that. And there they are. Oh, it's hopeless. I'm a boiled kappa. At least Gojo's sobered up. Not kind of orange anymore. Oh, look at that, Ryukichi to the rescue. Nothing like an animate motorbike to save the day. The last possible second. Everything's all right now. And here they are, returning to the crew through the big hole in the wall. The party is reunited. Everybody's together. Gojo and Sanzo are not happy to see Hikaido. Stop hitting him! He's already reformed! Oh my! Don't you guys know anything? Just because he was evil before doesn't mean he's evil now. Everybody should just love each other. What about the ox? Is he done? It's okay now. Everything's good. Well, everybody's cooled down. Just glad to have survived. Uh-oh, now what? Seems like the castle is ready to crumble. Something the Ox King was doing, I guess, was holding the volcano steady. The lava surrounded the whole place. What are we gonna do? It's too bright. Oh right, the Hammer of Light. Can that save us yet again? Everyone calm down. What are we gonna do? Sengoku! Save us! Oh! Alright everyone, hold on to the Hammer of Light. I'm sure it'll do something. See, it's glowing. And seems like the hammer launched us out of this castle, all into safety. The mountains and the lake and the forest, it's all returning to life. All the evil of the Ox King has been bled out of the land. We have flowers, we have green grass, we have liquid water. Sengoku and his friends saved everybody. It's all thanks to you, Sengoku. Thank you. Aw, don't be embarrassed. Now, Sengoku appears to have matured both mentally and physically. Barasaru means the wild or rampaging monkey. That was Sengoku's old nickname. Now maybe he can be the peaceful, cuddly monkey instead. With that all said, we're waiting again for another chapter switch. We're about to start chapter 11, which is kind of the epilogue of the whole game. Everybody's relaxing on the cliff, looking about the nice little forest, mountains in the background. What a relief. Feels like it's all over, even though it's a little lonely maybe. Well, that's just how life is. Gojo's always so practical. So Sanzo suddenly had a realization. What? Sengoku's curious what's going on. Gojo doesn't understand why anybody's, What happened? Neryl wants to know. Oh, Sanzu forgot the sutras. Now that you mention it. Sanzo's using a little bit of an idiom here. Washito shita kotoga. It's a fixed self-reproach idiom for someone like me, of all people, to do this. It expresses disbelief at one's own mistake. The equivalent with watashi is also very common, so it works with the old man washi or the more general population watashi. Kai answers with an idiom of his own. Mizu ni nagasu. It literally means to let it flow away in the water, or idiomatically, to let bygones be bygones or wipe the slate clean. It reflects a broader cultural idea of using flowing water for purification, seen in Shinto ritual as well as everyday speak. Now that we've found that we have the sutra, let's read it. A way to live in comfort for the rest of your life? Sanzo's intrigued. One should. Oh, what happened? Giant hand comes out of the sky and plucks the scroll out of Hakai's hands. What? Everybody's freaked out now. Especially Sanzo. Ah! And Neryl quickly identified, Buddha, what's going on? I'll hold on to these sutras myself. But after all that trouble, you must not think about trying to live a comfortable life. Reading this kind of thing is what leads you to become an evil person, just like the Ox King. So now we found out this sutra is probably what created the Ox King's origin story. Persistent effort. That is what we need. Sanzo is not happy. Sengoku points out, why write this down if it's that bad? Well, Buddha has no good answer for that. Sengoku's waiting. Your growth. Amazing brute strength, but now coupled with humility. If you want to use your power for evil or justice. As a reward for saving the world, you can become an officer in heaven. Neryl is not happy about that, it seems. Be grateful. This is a wonderful honor. And then Sengoku goes poof, along with the Buddha. Neryl crying out for Sengoku. Where have you gone? We just reunited. But Sengoku did not return. No matter how much they cried, they just have to move on. So, they've all gone on to resume their lives until a year had passed. And here we are in heaven, Sengoku hard at work, washing Buddha's feet. He's an officer, but he's still a very low-ranking officer. Boy, this is not a fun job. It's boring. Oh, now. Wait a minute. You're not addressing me properly. You don't say, huh? Yeah. All right, that's enough. I'll show you this. For whatever reason, I was seeing that as like a weird little door, but it's a TV. He's watching a TV. Hold it up. Watch, everybody. And we're seeing Hakai in front of his store. Big discount. 30 or 40%. Bye. Making lots of money in Japan. Oh, and here's Gojo giving back massages to old ladies in Siberia. So I guess he decided to go back and hang out with those two after all. They seem to love his attention and care. Good for you, Gojo. Sanzo has found himself some lovely maidens. I'm guessing they're in a hot spring or something. What a lech. Maybe that's the village of women, I guess. Oh, and Neryl. Back in her house, sitting at a table all by herself. She's bored. Life just isn't as exciting and fun anymore without Sengoku around. Back to her old routine. If only I had a boyfriend. Could get a pink dress and an iron. And wasn't that interesting? Do you feel attached to your friends? Sengoku is not so sure. Wrong. It's interesting. Now we are playing as the Buddha ourselves. He notices Sengoku just staring at the television, longing. Alright, let's try my skill as a Buddha. Magic marker. Now, what could Sengoku do with this? Prank? Wow, there is a magic marker. What prank should he pull? Let's do it. See what happens. He drew all over Buddha's face that he just cleaned. Poor Buddha. You still can't outgrow this stuff. You don't belong here in heaven. You are expelled. Get out of my kingdom. Sayonara carries more finality in real Japanese than the English bye. It's not used for casual daily partings between people who'll see each other again, so friends usually would say matane or jane instead. Sengoku choosing sayonara here signals he knows this goodbye is permanent. And then Sengoku is back on Earth, running down the road. He just kept running and running. I think we have a good idea where he's running to. And hopefully it's to live happily ever after. And then waiting just a moment while the disk accesses a new little area on the software. We have the reunion, Sengoku and Neryl. And they get on and ride the Flying Nimbus. And as they ride, we can see our credit. There's Sanzo hanging out on his motorbike. And you've got the nice little ocean, the birds flying around. Great city of Tokyo with the Kai staring up at the sky. As we go through this, remember to like and subscribe if you've enjoyed this series. Remember again, the video description can lead you to any chapter in the game you wish. Let me know in the comments if you spot any errors or any other things you'd like to share, any other games you want to see me try to translate. And thank you for watching.